Looks like we're live. Sweet. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. I'm definitely celebrating today. Going to watch some of probably the original trilogy earlier, I think, or later. Not earlier. I cannot time travel. Hello, welcome. I feel I'm going to babble on this live video today because I am sleepy still after a weekend of relaxing. As you might have seen, the reason I'm relaxing is because I finished The Forever King. Yes! So I was moving them, but it's that car. So The Forever King was finished on Saturday evening, a bit of Sunday morning. And yeah, I spent most of Sunday evening just asleep after a couple of beers and whiskeys, just to celebrate. There's still a lot more of work to do, but it's done. Forever King Draft 1 is complete. And over the next month we'll be editing it. Basically, it's gone off to the editor, Sarah Chorn, fellow author and also amazing book reviewer, and she is working her magic with the book right now. So yeah, over the next month we're going to produce Draft 2 of Forever. Why do I keep saying Forever King? Heavy Lies the Crown. My apologies. It's because I was just looking at it and reading it back. Heavy Lies the Crown is done. Over the next month, Heavy Lies the Crown will be edited, going to second and third draft, etc., and get ready for launch. That's it. So that's the big news and what I wanted to chat about today on this live vid. And otherwise, I'm at one of my little favorite writing spots called Sax Point. I worry that if I touch the phone, it's going to fall over. But I've just shared a picture actually on my Facebook and Twitter as well. You can see it. I've got mountains, sea, lots of dogs flying around. There was a bald eagle in a tree just to the left of me about half an hour ago, getting attacked by seagulls. I was going to say sea lions. And yes, thank you, Peter. You're absolutely right. It's because I literally have both the documents up. Both most of the day when I'm writing, so I can check things in the Forever King. And yeah, I don't know why, I just keep thinking that's book 2 for some reason at the moment. So yes, if you just joined, ignore my rambling from beforehand. Like I said, real tired after working. That's 65, 70 hours on the book last week. But yeah, if you've joined us, Heavy Lies the Crown is done. Book 2 of the Scouts and Chronicles. Draft 1 is finished. Like I said, it's off to the editor, Sarah. And yeah, we're going to be working on that. It's going to be really, really exciting. I love this stage, going back through the book and kind of just tweaking all these little, well, tweaking a lot, to be honest. A load of writing normally gets put in. I don't actually take much out. Normally I'm messing around and adding all these little tiny touches and things like that to just, I don't know, bring extra characters to life, add some more depth of lore, some more interesting stuff for you guys. And yeah, it's just a real fun stage. And it goes a lot quicker than the actual writing. So yeah, I'm still writing at the moment. I've obviously got a second book to write at the moment called, well, it was called Blades of Tarlena. It's now called Demon's Reign. It's the book I'm co-writing with David Estes. So I'm kind of working on that while Heavy Lies the Crown is being edited. No rest for the wicked, even when I come down to beautiful places like I am today, here in the car. Still working, still doing stuff. So yeah. Heavy Lies the Crown, going back to that, I'm really, really proud of this book. It is freaking epic. It is absolutely mad. It's kind of, I pushed a couple of boundaries and a couple of envelopes with this book. Reason being, it's a quest story. Now, we kind of did this with Pale Kings, lots of people traveling in different places, but it wasn't quite a quest. You know, it didn't have kind of, you know, sort of a Lord of the Rings, got to put the ring in Mount Doom sort of thing, quest. So that is what Heavy Lies the Crown is, and I'm so excited for you to read it because a lot goes down. There's a lot of new places. We are actually in Emaneska for about 3 chapters, maybe 4 chapters. No spoilers, by the way. So we're a lot further afield, and I think you're gonna like the random, kind of fucked up places that I've been creating. So yeah, done. So happy, so very tired, as you can probably tell. Not making a lot of sense, less sense than usual. But yeah, it's been worth it. Worked my butt off in throughout April, like I did in March as well, and I'm going to be doing it probably for the foreseeable. It's kind of fun, to be honest, working this hard. Last year I kind of didn't quite get the balance between kind of working, I worked too hard and kind of almost burnt myself out. This year I'm really enjoying it. I've kind of got that balance, as you might have known if you've been following me for a couple of months now, or a couple of years even. You'll remember that kind of stage last year, yeah, working way too hard. And yeah, finally achieved that balance, really liking it. Again, the kind of other side of the pandemic hopefully is kind of helping. And at the same time, it's summer, which always helps. And so yeah, I've been getting out to a lot more places like here. Tell you what, I will try and show you my writing spot today and try not to drop the phone while I do it. But this is Sax Point Park, which is just kind of west and along a bit the coast from Victoria. So I have the sea, tankers, the Olympic Mountains, and yeah, lots of dogs running around, like I said. So it's a pretty nice spot to come and park the car. Laptop is behind you, so I cannot show you, but yeah, sit here with the laptop and write. So yeah, if you haven't seen one of these live updates before, I normally just ramble on for a bit. See, told you that one. I ramble on in general, give you an update on all the things that have been happening over the last month. I missed last month because I was working and writing like an absolute madman. But yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to know what else is going on apart from the things I'm going to talk about, it's mainly going to be, well, we talked about Heavy Lies the Crown. Got a lot going on, man. So some other things. But yeah, if you've got any questions, jump in, put them below and I'll try and get to them. And I'll just chat for the next 10 minutes or so about all the crazy stuff I've been up to. So yeah, Heavy Lies the Crown is done. Not for a king. So if you just joined us, yes. Number 2 piece of news is, let's see, what's the most important news? Probably the illustrations, because I just got a brand new one through from my artist Dennis this morning, actually. So we have, if you don't know anything about what's going on, illustrated Emaneska Hardbacks. I'm doing a 10-year anniversary. I'm going to basically produce hardback versions of the Eminesca books, all 4 of them, and they're going to have 4 or 5 illustrations in each. And I'm also going to be doing a big, huge version, a big omnibus version, which will have all the illustrations, all the books, and some extra sort of awesome shit in it, basically. It's obviously going to be, perfectly designed. I'm going for like holographic covers and things like that. And so yeah, I've been showing off a couple of the illustrations that I've been commissioning over the past month on my Facebook and Twitter, but also on my Patreon. Now, if you guys don't know about this, I have a Patreon. It's called my Elite Circle. It's full of awesome people. It's growing all the time, just like all my social channels, but I've been sharing pretty much everything as soon as I do it on my Patreon page. So if you want to see all 4 of the written illustrations, and the 5th one will be posted probably tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to join that, only costs you $1 per month, which is nothing. I pay about $40 in like Crave and Disney Plus and Netflix subscriptions. So $1, I've made it cheap for you. And then you can upgrade if you want to get extra swag, things like that, behind the scenes access. But either way, I post, once a week, all the different stuff behind the scenes, sneak peeks, weeks before I share it elsewhere. And then I also have been posting a chapter of Heavy Lies the Crown every single week for the last 10 weeks. So we're up to chapter 10. So you can actually read it ahead of time, and you can also see it. I mean, I write pretty cleanly even when I'm doing the first draft, so it's not riddled with spelling errors or to be finished or missing things. It's pretty whole. It's pretty much as I write very kind of chronologically, so you can actually read Heavy Lies the Crown before it comes out in August up to chapter 10, and I'm going to be posting these raw chapters as I go, as I have been. So yeah, if you don't want spoilers and you don't mind spoilers, or you can't really wait until the to the launch day in August, then you can absolutely go and read up to chapter 10 and find out what's happened to Thardan, Mithrid, and the crew. So that's an awesome thing. I think a lot of you don't really know that about my Patreon, and it's kind of weird because Facebook limits my my reach whenever I put a Patreon link in there, but I'll post more about it. But yeah, if you didn't know, that's what I do. Behind the scenes stuff, you can see loads of things you haven't quite seen yet for the illustrated Emaneska hardbacks, and you can also read Heavy Lies the Crown in its raw format before it comes out as well. So when are we going to get the Emaneska hardbacks? That is a good question. Seeing as we're kind of working on Heavy Lies the Crown, I'm going to set the launch date for August. So somewhere in August, we'll be getting Heavy Lies the Crown. I'll firm that up over the next couple of days. I can't remember which date I've chosen because I'm too tired. And otherwise, I'm going to try and do a Kickstarter either before that, if I decide to be that mad, or it'll be straight afterwards. So yeah, basically I'll be doing a Kickstarter for the Emaneska hardback versions. The individual hardbacks will be coming out no matter what, Kickstarter or no Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter is for the big omnibus, chunky, full Emaneska series book. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get that done. So yeah, you can expect a Kickstarter very soon. You can expect Heavy Lies the Crown very soon. And yeah, the illustrations, if you haven't seen them, fucking amazing. Pardon my French, but they're so good. Go check them out on the Facebook page if you haven't seen them. If not, like I said, they're all on my Patreon, and I'll be sharing more as the weeks go by. But damn, they're good. They're going to be coming out as prints as well, so they're going to be all over my house. And hopefully all over yours if you want some as well. Got some questions. Let's have a little look here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Hey Daniel, how's it going? Is it difficult to co-write, and how do I do that? Good question. So just some context, I'm co-writing a book with David Estes at the moment. It was called Blades of Tarlena. It's gone through a massive change over the last couple of weeks. It's now called Demon's Reign. Slightly different story, but still, just I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So yeah, it's kind of fun to co-write. It's mostly being led by kind of, my ideas. So I'm kind of laying the foundations, and David's kind of working as, very, very close editor, but also writing bits as well and suggesting huge amounts and basically green-lighting all the plot as we go through. So yeah, it's really fun. It's really, really, really useful to actually have someone there to say, this isn't a good idea, or this is a good idea, or you've trapped yourself in a plot hole here, and have those ideas to bounce off. Because that when you're working in isolation as an author, especially as a self-published author as well, before you go to betas and if you don't use alpha readers, for example, you've no idea if it's any good or not, really. You'd hope so. I never do. I always think it's crap until I send it off to the editor. But that's part of the process. So yeah, it's definitely much more fun to do that. And otherwise, yeah, we're just doing it on shared documents and things like that. So yeah, good question. Keep them coming in. What else have we got here? Carly, what have you got here? Have you done marks with your book cover on? As in bookmarks, I think that's what I'm getting here. Book cover on. Let me know if I've got that wrong. But yes, bookmarks is something I did for Chasing Graves, and I will be doing something on the store as well. So again, that's actually piece of news number 3, is that you might have seen I've done things like mugs and t-shirts and prints like that. So things like map prints, signed map prints as well. So my store on my site, bengali.com, is going to become a lot bigger. It's not going to link to another site like it does at the moment, and although the merch there is good and the quality I want, it's just not simple and quick or as cheap enough as I want for you guys. So I'm building another, like, a whole big store. Actually, my girlfriend Rachel is helping me with that because she's really good at that stuff. And so last week we switched all the products over to a new face masks. Now that's a good idea. I'll finish off about the book covers and I'll come back to that. Yeah, I didn't quite read that. So yes, in terms of that, merch is going to be coming out of my ears soon and on my site, and you can get all sorts of stuff. Face masks would be cool. Yeah, why not? I don't want to kind of have loads and loads and loads of different things and just put my book covers and logos on, I don't know, like dog collars, and actually that'd be quite a good one. I don't know, you see a lot of random merch out there that you can put your stuff on, and it's not sometimes the best. So I'm going to stick to the good stuff: t-shirts, prints, mugs, fun stuff for books, maybe masks. Probably just stick to booker stuff at the moment, but yeah. So if you've got any other questions, keep them coming in. If you just joined us, quick catch up. Heavy Lies the Crown is finished. There's artwork plenty for the Emaneska illustrated hardbacks. You can find them all on my Patreon, which is just $1 a month to join up. $1 a month, so cheap. Otherwise, we have new merch coming as well. I'm still co-writing that book with David Estes, and I'm currently in my car at a beach, hoping to see some whales. I did actually see some whales here about 2 summers ago. We were just chilling on the beach, having some drinks, and non-alcoholic drinks, perfectly legal. And yeah, these 3 female orcas just came into the bay, turned around and went out right at sunset. Fucking perfect. So every time I come down here, I'm expecting to see a whale or 2. If you haven't seen it before, I'm kind of got my phone quite precarious here, but I'm going to turn it around. So yeah, if you just joined us, little recap. This is my writing spot for the day. It's called Sax Point. It's on the kind of southern side of Vancouver Island. Looks out over the Juan de Fuca Strait, which is that big bit of water. And that is America, those kind of mountains, which the phone doesn't really pick up, but they're huge and snow-capped. And yeah, amazing. Hopefully that stays up. We'll see. But yeah, I like to drive down here, as often as I can. Get a sandwich on the way, just sit, laptop up, done. It's going to be great. So yeah, what else have I got to tell you? Loads of things, I swear. Got a new map coming, because I've got to finish off the Heavy Lies the Crown map. So you'll be seeing the whole span of Emaneska and beyond, which, if you missed it before, Heavy Lies the Crown, to talk about that for a bit, is a big old quest story. Everyone is moving around, everyone's trying to get somewhere, trying to keep the spoilers minimum. So yeah, it's a big kind of very Lord of the Rings inspired sort of long country spanning quest into regions that we've never even discussed in Emaneska before, never mind actually featured on a map. So you might have seen a couple of weeks ago on my Facebook page, excuse me, you might have seen a couple of weeks ago on my Facebook page that I put a picture of the written up alongside a picture of Heavy Lies the Crown. And you might have seen the map that followed that as well. And it seems that Heavy Lies the Crown is set in the same world as, well, a similar world that's connected to Emaneska. It's the eastern continent of. So if you missed that, go check it out on the Facebook page or Twitter, wherever you follow me. It's also on the blog as well on my site. And yeah, it's just basically really, really fun to join those two worlds together. Something I've been planning for years, and there are other connections that I will not reveal yet to other things that I've written. But either way, yeah, that's really fun. So basically, Heavy Lies the Crown is an exploration of the rest of Emaneska, because we've only seen kind of this chunk of it. And so now I've revealed this chunk of it, and we have obviously Perea down here, the kind of African, well, to be honest, it's mostly North Africa and Greek inspired, Perea. And obviously a whole continent that goes to the south, a bit kind of like the shape of Africa or South America. So that's what Heavy Lies the Crown is full of. Loads of weird places, fucked up creatures, crazy things. Yeah. What's this here? Go you, Carly. Good suggestion there, don't worry. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. All I can kind of give away with Heavy Lies the Crown. But again, if you haven't heard, we're going to be releasing it in August. Well, I'm going to be releasing it in August. Cover's done. It will be up for pre-order for a couple of weeks beforehand, because I'm doing a very close pre-order, trying to make this as big a launch as possible. So ticking those algorithmic boxes on Amazon, all that stuff behind the scenes. It's part of being an indie author. But yeah, if you can't wait until August to read Heavy Lies the Crown, and you want to read it as I write, then you can find that on my Patreon. So yeah, like I said, patreon.com/Ben Galley. And that is where you will find 10 chapters of Heavy Lies the Crown that I've been kind of posting every week for the last 10 weeks. It's really fun. It's really fun to be able to just like show kind of the raw stuff, even though I kind of write pretty cleanly, as you might see. But yeah, the raw stuff straight from the writing desk. You know, some people are like, no, I don't want to see it. I want to get the, you know, the whole book so I don't have to wait. But if you don't mind things coming out episodically and reading a chapter a week, you get like 3,000-4,000 words a week, then yeah, Patreon's the place to be. Kind of fun. Something I've been doing for the last year and a half now. It's growing. I love it. What else? What else has been going on? I've been working like a dog. That's pretty much it. Yeah, just we're going to be doing some competitions soon as well. Well done, obviously, to the winners of the most recent competition who won the signed map print, and also got to name a piece of this whole wide brand new world. So yeah, stay tuned for more competitions. Reviews, that's one thing I've noticed I'm missing. Reviews are always good. I'd like to do get a few more reviews on my books on Amazon. So if you're watching and haven't reviewed my books yet, yeah, if you can spare a minute, head on over to Amazon, give it a star or so, hopefully 5. Honest reviews are always good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this update. I told you it's always short and sweet. Like I said, I'm going to be keeping these monthly, so you can get kind of just a live interaction, chance to ask some questions. Let's see if we've got any more here. Nope, all good. But yeah, I find them quite fun, especially when I get signal down in places like this as well. So normally if I go further down the coast, I end up on American cell phone signal, and that's not fun. So yeah, Wi-Fi and signal are hard to get, so it's nice when I can come down to places like this and do an alfresco one that's not on my balcony. So yeah, so I'm pretty much going to go back to finishing off the writing that I'm doing today. Got another 3,000 words to write. Done 1,500-2,000 already down here this morning. Yeah, that's going to be on Demon's Reign, like I said, the David Estes book. That's fun. It's really fun. It's first person again, like Chasing Graves, so a bit different. But yeah, so do stay tuned. Review the books if you haven't already. Check out my Patreon if you haven't already, because I think you might enjoy it. You don't have to look at the early chapters. There's loads of the artwork on there as well that, for instance, are for the Emaneska Hardbacks. And yeah, I kind of share a lot of the kind of, you know, behind the scenes, you know, oh, I'm not saying emotional shit, but the stuff that I might not have time to do, or kind of, you know, the detail that I don't, or can't go into on Facebook. So yeah, that's what happens on my Patreon. It's like a diary, like a weekly diary, and you get access to it. Peter, we got a question here. Oh, we got two actually. Carl, oh, you're too fast. 1 second. Any rough ideas on a price point for the omnibus? Yes and no, Carl. I know you're all excited about this, and I'm super excited as well. So I found a printer in BC. That's actually just outside Vancouver, so I can actually get to them and sign stuff as well. So the hardbacks are going to hopefully be cheaper because I don't have to get them actually shipped to me to therefore then ship them back out again. So I'm trying to reduce costs wherever possible. It's not going to be kind of reducing quality. I want it to be just a collector's item book like you might expect from